Hey viewers and viewers, my name is John Red Strategist and welcome back to Project Eden's Garden. This is the 5th episode. Basically it's the new year, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to 2023. So yeah, I made my initial recording session the day after Project Eden's Garden, this prologue. Got released on the devs itch.io page, so I recorded obviously up to this point where we found this fake dead body, and now we're being thrown straight into an investigation. So Project Eden's Garden definitely wanting to do things very differently straight off the bat, and I'm all here for it. This has so far been a fascinating take on a Danganronpa fan game, not gonna lie. It's been really interesting. Just everything about it seems professionally made. The visuals are great, the mechanics are exactly what you'd expect of a Danganronpa game, the characters, you know, there's so much life clearly has gone in, you know, been put into them. The voice actors so far are doing a hell of a good job. And speaking of voice actors, I'd just like to give a shout out to, I believe her name is Snow, over on Twitter, the voice actor for Diana's character, Diana, you know, the cosmetologist girl. Basically, she retweeted part 1 of my Project Eden's Garden playthrough to her followers, hence why viewing count-wise, these videos are actually doing far better than most of my usual content. So yeah, if you're new to my channel, if you found me through Snow's retweet, welcome to General Red Strategist. I hope you enjoy your stay here. If you're into Danganronpa games, I have a lot of Danganronpa content here on my channel. I've got playthroughs of Trigger Happy Havoc, Goodbye Despair, Ultra Despair Girls, Killing Harmony. I also have a playlist called Other Danganronpa Content, which has a few discussion videos, things like that in it, as well as short Danganronpa fan game demos. And I do have a few other playlists for slightly longer length Danganronpa fan games, such as New World Order, Hope Restoration, what else? Fandom's Calling, Antebellum. Speaking of Danganronpa Antebellum, by the way, if you're here for that, there will be more episodes of that coming out in due course, because I've managed to record everything that remains of that, well, everything that's been released of that fan game so far. So yeah, shout out to Snow, and shout out to all you guys out there who are new to my channel. If any of you, let me know in the comments if you're new at all, and you found my channel through Project Eden's Garden. But without further ado, we're going to get into it, and yeah, I think I can remember all the voices I gave to people and all that. So, let's get into this investigation then, folks. Now, as I did previously with my initial recording session just before the Christmas period, I will sit down and just try and record as much of this, if not the remainder of it, in one go, and I'll probably then split the footage up, maybe into more than one episode. Then again, if this is just a short investigation, maybe it'll, I don't know, maybe it won't take that long. I'm just kind of curious though, if we're investigating this fake body, is there actually going to be a trial for it or something? But then again, none of us will be responsible for this death, so I don't know who's going to get, well, what the outcome of that would be necessarily. Let's see where it goes. So, Damon says, before I do anything else, I should go back over that tablet. Okie doke, we should do that indeed. Cara Koskinen, I don't know how to pronounce that, but I'll probably butcher it, but I'll try and pronounce it as best as I can. Ultimate Teacher's Aide. She's 5'6", 112 pounds, female, 18. Oh shit, I should have read that. Well, it just said the victim was this person. Stabbed in the torso 28 times. Victim also suffered chemical burns to the head. The most notable burns are to her eyes and scalp. Here's a knife with blood on it and a assault rifle by the looks of it. Cause of death is blood loss. Time of death is unknown. Right. So the chemical burns are not the cause of death. I'm assuming it's the stab wounds, just based on that. There's a lot going on here. Chemical burns in addition to 28 stab wounds. Jesus. I don't want to believe anything the speaker guy says, but if this murder really is based on true events, damn, the killer is totally sick in the head. Tablet has been added to the truth bullet section if you drink it. You know, the one character who we've not seen from yet is Mara, the enforcer of this particular killing game. We've heard from Tozu. We haven't seen him in the flesh, but we heard him before, speaking over the Tannoy system. So I'm kind of curious, actually, if, I don't know, is Mara going to pop up? Is she the one who maybe killed this person? Who knows? Is this meant to be representative of a victim of a previous killing game? There's all sorts of possibilities, and we're going to have to try and memorise as many of them as we can. Okay, we're straight in. We're going to actually talk to some people and do some investigation. You will, of course, notice in the previous episodes, and as well as that right now as well, yes, there are sometimes the in-game frame rate does kind of dip sometimes, which I don't know why it does that. I don't know if that's just a problem with my PC configuration or if that's just an issue with the game. I don't know. I mean, at the moment it's actually quite smooth, as you can see. It's just when you look in certain directions, I think the in-game FPS does drop. But, you know, that's not too much of an issue for me, and I haven't seen anyone complaining about that, so I'm assuming it's not too much of an issue for you guys out there watching either. Alright, shall we talk to some people then? Jet, old boy? Let's talk to you.
Oh boy.
You catch the look on Kai's face before he ran away, and dude was about to puke.
Yeah.
Guess the whole thing got the better of him.
For real?
Yeah, it's a really gruesome sight. I saw it in my drugstore. I've never seen anything like it.
You get me?
I mean, I don't make a habit of running into dead bodies, but still, you know.
I know.
At the end of the day, it's just some puppet. Can't be any worse than a Halloween decoration.
Huh?
Oh, you've been trick-or-treating Wolf Creek Crater. Discovery like this would traumatise anyone. That's an interesting name. Well, almost anyone. I'm very thick-skinned. He's clearly not in the right headspace for an investigation. I should just ignore him. Well, Jet, you just do you. You know, people are probably also wondering, what are my impressions of the characters so far? Are there any sort of, like, standout favourites? And I'll probably actually go over this once we reach the end of the prologue and sort of give an idea of, you know, who my favourite characters so far are. I just want to try and get through the whole prologue first, just before I start judging any characters or saying, you know, oh, I definitely like the look of this character, or I definitely don't trust this character, or whatever. So, yeah, well, I'll do that once I get to the end, so, you know, stick around if you want to hear my character thoughts for, well, either the end of this episode, if it is just investigation, or, you know, several episodes down the line once we get to the end of the prologue. But yeah, I will say right now, though, that this cast is very standout. There's some real personalities in here, and the thing is, whenever you start off a new Danganronpa game, I always find, at least, you know, in my experience when I play, for example, like the mainline games, Trigger Happy Havoc, Goodbye Despair, V3, you know, I find that you have obviously your cast of 16, but there's always maybe sort of 2 or 3 or 4 in particular who take your eyes straight away, and you think, okay, I'm interested in you, I want to learn more about you. But so far in this one has kind of defied the expectation a bit. There's a lot of characters in this one who I'm quite interested in straight off the bat. I mean, Jet for a start, I'm interested in you. Ship's captain, you're certainly interesting. Historian, definitely. Fencer, yeah, you could be interesting to talk to as well. Old Bursky, whatever he's called back there, he's been a quieter one. Who else is there who's quite interesting? God, I mean, what's-her-face? Blacksmith lady, she's quite interesting too. I wouldn't mind talking to her, doing some free time events with her, potentially. God, there's a lot of characters in this cast. I'll have to go through them, like I say, once I get to the end of the prologue. But yeah, just to give you an indication right now, this is a real stellar-looking cast of characters. Alright, enough gassing from me, come on, we've got to get moving. Alright, ship's captain, old boy, what's your deal? What are you thinking? So this be based on a real case. I barely know the girl, and yet I feel horrible. I've had my fair share of grievances from my crew, but nothing like what she would have endured. I'd do anything to get back to me ship, even if I had to live through a never-ending storm. Arr. Jean seems to miss being out at sea. I guess I can't blame him. I want to be anywhere but here right now. Okay. I imagine he probably wants us to look at the puppet instead of, you know, talking to everyone, but, you know, I'll talk to everyone. Also, can I just say, what's also
I just want to go home.
Pretty awesome. Do you know how, in, Thingy, like, I think it was like in the first couple of Danganronpa games, Trigger Happy Havoc, Goodbye Despair, your character always seemed to be much, much smaller than everyone else, certainly in Makoto's case. It was like if you keep your eyes level and just wander right up to the character sprites, it's like Makoto's head, apparently according to that, seems to only come up to about their sort of midsection, even though he's actually a little bit taller. But this one, they've actually sort of scaled your player character, Damon, in proportion to everyone else's, when everyone else's sprites in proportion to one another, which I kind of like. I think that was something which really, I only recall being the case most of all in V3, where, you know, Spike Chunsoft actually did that. You know what I mean, right? Sorry, I'm gassing again. I'm getting completely distracted. I can't believe this is happening. It's just a dummy. It'll all be fine. She's clearly having a moment. Not something I want to deal with right now. God, Damon is certainly a very different protagonist to anything we've had before. I'm just going to bob over here and see what your deal is. Bursky. Is he going to say anything?
Hi.
Hey, are you investigating? I'll take that as a no. Yeah, he's very quiet, this one. Nice sort of crocodile hat, by the way. Alright, historian, we'll talk to you. Ulysses was scribbling something down in his notebook.
I must take note of this.
Curious, corporate television can barely create convincing corpses, so how does Von find up here?
Huh?
What does that mean? Oh? He finished what he was writing and lowered the notebook from his face.
According to my notes...
You see, convincingly realistic mannequins like this one are real, but rare. It's cheaper, albeit clunkier, to recreate a body using special effects, but that's obviously not the case here. Somehow we have a mannequin indistinguishable from a real human. Are you suggesting that maybe it is a corpse? It's actually a dead person, not a mannequin? Our captors must not be tight on money.
Yes.
They could produce an amazing TV show, certainly. Interesting. Okay. Alright, well, let's look at the scene, unless there's anyone hiding. Oh, could be someone hiding. See, there's people hiding. You're an interesting one, Grace. Your sprite gives me real Miu-Iruma vibes, as does your attitude a bit. And at the same time, your attitude also gives me Hiyoko vibes. You're like the mashup of Miu-Iruma and Hiyoko Saionji, so far, anyway. G'day, this stupid murder mystery theatre thing is just a waste of time. The skill is stupid, the train that took us here is stupid, everyone here is even more stupid.
Son of a bitch!
Get me out of here! Doesn't sound like she wants to investigate. Probably for the best. Okay, is there anyone else hiding around the corners? I may as well look whilst I'm here. If I click on the door, it'll probably just say, no, I need to investigate. Never mind! Actually, we can go. I thought it was going to be like that traditional Danganronpa thing of it being sort of like, no, I should go and investigate the thing that's clearly over there. Seems the runaways have taken shelter here. Oh, new guy.
Seriously?
Stop calling me that. Shot him down. She looks pathetic. I doubt these people have anything useful to say. I should just get out of here. Okay, that's probably, yeah, Damon's way of saying, yeah, these people are useless. I'm going to talk to him anyway, though. Why the hell not? Sorry, is that the spirit of Ulysses projecting into you there? What's going on? It's that Jean guy. You agree he's weird, right? Dude says he's a great captain, but I think working with him would scare me shitless. Maybe it's because I'm not a pirate, I don't know.
Right.
He's weird, but a friendly leader isn't necessarily a good leader.
Man.
I'd take a dumb softie over that guy any day. Cool. Wow. You're just doubting him straight off the bat. Matchmaker girl. Gnome girl. Oh, the speaker man expects us to solve a murder case. Why? We're students, not detectives. Why do you have to see a body? Don't forget, it's only a dummy.
Be quiet.
Oh, well, I don't recall signing up for some kind of Halloween attraction. I never have and never will enjoy haunted houses. What just happened accentuates my beliefs. The kid's having difficulty keeping her cool. No surprise there. She probably couldn't do much in investigation anyway. May as well give her some space. Yeah, like every Danganronpa investigation, there's the ones who are at the scene trying to help, and then there's the ones who just wander off because they feel absolutely useless. Diana, what's your deal? How's the investigation going?
Yeah.
I'll try not to sort of overdo my sort of Italian Mario voice for this one. I'll try and make it a bit more serious, I think. Alright, I guess.
I see.
I wish I could help, but I really, really want to. It's just that Toshiko, well, I'm not supposed to say anything, but she was really, you know...
Oh.
Anyway, have we figured out what happened to Cara?
Seriously?
You don't have to call the dummy by its name.
Oh.
Why?
It's simple.
Because it's a dummy.
Hey.
But this crime scene is based on an actual murder, isn't it? If we're respectful to the dummy, we're also being respectful to the real victim.
Come again?
So you believe the tablet? Wasn't it you who said we shouldn't trust the speaker guy? I think it's harder to lie with such a realistic-looking dummy. You can't make something like that without referencing a real person. Even if that's true, who cares? Our priority is the murder, not the identity of the dummy. Damn Damon being real... What's the word I'm looking for? Can we look in the pantry? Damon looking for food. This is where that loud golfer girl, Grace, woke up. It would have been funnier if she was shoved into the refrigerator instead. Damn, son! He's definitely got much more of an attitude than your usual Danganronpa protagonist, and I like it. Even if he is a little bit of a dick sometimes when he's like, oh yes, that's not a real talent. Things like that. Alright, let's go back into the corridor. See if there's anyone else hanging around who we can talk to before we start looking at the dummy. I'm just doing this because, you know, in mainline Danganronpa games, sometimes it's good to kind of wander off the beaten path a bit and see if there's anyone hidden around, because you never know, there might be sort of like someone there who has something interesting to say. Oh, wait a minute, these are the dorm rooms, but I'm assuming, aren't they? Hang on, that just goes down to the basement and this just goes back around here, doesn't it? Yep, it does. Alright, it's probably telling us, Red, get on with the investigation instead of parping around. Alright, let's look at the body then, shall we? Can we look at the gun? Yeah, it's probably... Well, probably I'll zoom in on the body and then we can look at everything else, right? Our captors gave us a lot of information about this victim. To their credit, what's written on the tablet seems accurate, but I should inspect the body just in case. Also, I just want to say right now, I will bet you that this dead character, Cara, I bet you she's not only relevant to the prologue. I'll bet you this character comes up again in later chapters, and there's more significance to them than just, oh, they happen to be someone who was murdered here previously. Alright, let's inspect the body. Damn it, it's just a doll, Damon. Stop hesitating. Okey-doke. God, this is like friggin' investigating Sayaka Maizono's body in the shower, isn't it? It's going to let us look at the gun and the knife and all that. The doll was slumped against the door, her torso soaked in blood. Parts of her shirt had been ripped open, exposing bits of bloody, indiscernible pulp. Jesus. I quickly took a step back, trying to control my breathing to avoid throwing up. It's just a doll. There's no reason to be afraid of a doll. Is it a doll? Or is it actually a body? Okay. We can look at the body, we can look at the bloody knife, or we can look at the assault rifle. Let's look at the assault rifle, shall we? Oh god, I think you just saw the text on the UI in the top left there, for the music just sort of glitched a bit. It was outside of the box. The initial sight of the doll shocked me so much I completely overlooked this rifle. Inspecting it now, I realise something. It's real, isn't it? If the victim was stabbed, why was a rifle near her body? Arr, that rifle! Could you step back a bit? I'm curious about something.
No.
What? No, I'm... Before I could finish my sentence, Jean walked over to where I was and picked up the gun.
Hey.
Hey, you're messing with the crime scene! Ignoring me, he released the magazine of the gun with surprising ease. He knows how to use guns, does he? It's real, isn't it? It's an actual gun. From the top of the magazine protruded a loaded bullet.
I see.
Arr, that'd be interesting. This rifle hasn't even been used. Okay, that too. That's also quite interesting. I thought you were just verifying whether it was a real gun or just some sort of prop or something. But that also is interesting. I mean, if it's got actual loaded bullets, then obviously that verifies it's real. But I'm guessing you're saying that the magazine is still fully loaded, which means it hasn't been fired. Okay. Arr, definitely a dangerous thing to have around. I'll put it down and guard it so nobody gets any smart ideas. Arr, I'm already used to muskets and flintlocks. Better than him holding it. Damn, a loaded gun. What's going on in the killer's head? I bring a gun to the crime scene and not even use it. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that the killer wasn't using the gun. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Cara was probably the one holding it. Maybe she was trying to defend herself from someone. Unless that gun was purely for intimidation. It's not very logical, but it'd be a twisted game to play with the victim. Okay, God, we're actually getting truth bullets. I wonder if we can actually access them. Added to a truth bullet section of your trinket. Well, it's got to be accessible, right? So if I press F1, is that where I get it? Ah, hell yes. God, they've even got a proper truth bullet section. So we can review this. See, this is what... So if you've been following my channel, you know I've been playing Danganronpa Antebellum, another fan game as well. This is what Danganronpa Antebellum is missing. a way of reviewing your truth bullets before you go into trials, because obviously it's made in RPG Maker rather than, you know, its own kind of engine or like Fmod or something like that. So naturally, yes, it's trade-offs and compromises, but this has even got this, which is awesome. Speckled with blood, fully loaded assault rifle. Yeah, I'm just going to take a guess now and say that the victim was the one holding the assault rifle originally. The assault rifle was not used by the killer in any way. Right, bloody knife. Is this the true murder weapon? Yeah, the text has a bit of a glitch sometimes on the music UI in the top left. Whenever sometimes it like zooms in on something. Watch next time I click on something, and you'll see a bloody a bloody knife lay next to the victim. Safe to say that this must be the murder weapon. Well, 28 stab wounds, so I think it's reasonable to assume that, yes. Can we actually look in the room? It's like a storage room, basically. Okay, look at the body then. The girl has been stabbed repeatedly. I don't need the tablet to know that. However, her cause of death, you think it was a stab wound to the heart or something, but the tablet claimed blood loss. Well, my guess is that she was stabbed at a point of the body, or at points of the body, which were not vital, which, you know, wouldn't result in an immediate death. But it was enough to cause her to just bleed out. Take a closer look, the wounds didn't seem excessively deep. At least, not deep enough to pierce her heart. If she died from blood loss, what does that say about the killer? It says they were... interesting, yeah. Either it suggests a couple of possibilities to me. I mean, these are both very tentative and speculative at the moment, but one, it suggests that either the killer didn't really know what they were doing and just stabbed kind of blindly in the hopes that they would try and just kill her as quickly as possible. But of course they're not, you know, they didn't really know what they were aiming for, so they were just going for the centre of mass, probably. Whereas a more kind of, I don't know, knowledgeable or professional killer might have known, I need to stab specifically at this point to try and inflict maximum damage to a vital organ. Or the other possibility is that maybe the killer wanted the victim to suffer? Wanted it to be a slow death? Who knows? They probably could have killed her quickly if they wanted. Did they want her to suffer a slow death? Well, that's a possibility, Damon. Damn, this is messed up. Alright, so we didn't get anything from that, truth bullet wise, but I gotta remember there is also this. So I can identify it. Oh god, my phone. 1 second, all. Oh, right, back in there we go. Let's get going. Just some relatives of mine ringing up to ask how I'm getting on and all that. Lovely sociable call and all. My nerves are telling me to leave, but I know better than to listen. Oh. You're saying there's something else for me to look at? Hold on. Something with the body. Hands. Okay. Interesting. Her hands were surprisingly clean, all things considered. There were no other marks or injuries apart from her nails. It looked like there was dried blood underneath them. Or was there blood under her nails, but not on the rest of her hand? Okay. Under the nails, but nowhere else on the hand. Maybe... was that her trying to pick up the assault rifle? Maybe the assault rifle already had blood on it from something else? Or someone else? And maybe she was just trying to get the gun, try and pick it up, and as a result that's why the blood is there? I'm just speculating at this moment, trying to piece it together in my head. Okay, that seemed to be all the evidence. Nothing else was catching my eye. I should check the inside of the closet now. Ah, we can actually go in. Okay. Can I look at anything else? Or do I have to zoom out and then go in? Are you sure you want to leave? Yes. Let's do that. Yeah, we can go into the janitor's closet now. Okay, let's do that. Also, I just freaking realised, didn't realise, you know, I can't understand why it took me so long to actually think of this, but Cara, right? This, well, they're saying it's a dummy, but, you know, for all we know, it could be a real body because of how realistic it is, but, yeah, her name's Cara. The character who we've not yet met, the enforcer of the killing game, who works for Tosu, is Mara. Now, that could be nothing. That could just be me grasping at straws a bit, but I just want everyone to make a mental note of that. Because if you've played the mainline Danganronpa games, you know that often the little details do matter. And it's always difficult to just kind of dismiss things, because you never know what might be significant. Like the rest of the building, the inside of the closet was old and dilapidated. It was the last place I'd want to dig through, but I had to gather as much evidence as possible. Otherwise, I won't be able to present a strong argument. Okie doke. Right, let's have a look here. So we can look at the back of the closet, we can look at the shelf, we can talk to you, there's a bucket down there. We'll start by talking to the characters, and then we'll look at the things in the background. Also, this investigation music, pretty good. There might be more clues around here. I'm going to check this entire closet for evidence. No thanks, a person like her is probably more likely to cause a murder, not solve one. Alright, have fun with that. Yeah, nobody's going to trust her, now that they know she's a liar. Lawyer, you've been quite an interesting and polite person so far. We must make every effort to examine the crime scene as thoroughly as possible. I'm still going to keep the posh voice for him, but like I said earlier, I'm going to also give Tozu a posh voice, but I'm going to sort of make Wolfgang's a bit more, not subdued, but a bit more, a bit less sort of dramatic, whereas I'm going to make Tozu's a bit more dramatic because he seemed a bit more, I don't know, verbose. Not for the sake of entertaining the people who kidnapped us, but for the sake of the victim. After all, this was based on a real murder, was it not? That was what the tablet said, though I'm still sceptical about the validity of that statement. Cassidy, gamer.
Check it out!
You're happy, are you? Hey, check out what's behind this door! Saying that, she stepped away from the corner.
Right.
It's a ladder. Doesn't seem like there's anything strange about it. Why was this brought to my attention again?
Dude, not cool.
I'm disappointed in you.
Huh?
So hackneyed.
You call that thing a ladder? It's so obviously a step ladder.
Seriously?
Aren't they practically the same thing?
Pardon me.
I have to agree with Miss Amber. Everyone knows an ace investigator must record his evidence as accurately as possible. That's certainly what the victim would want. I mean, he's not wrong about that. If you're taking records of a crime scene, you gotta really be specific and precise about everything, in case, you know, there's any room for ambiguity or confusion. You gotta, you know the details, like, is it just a bucket, or is it a mop bucket, for example, like that thing in the background? Is it a ladder, or is it a step ladder? Because you don't want to cause confusion when you're in the trial, and people suddenly think, oh, wasn't there a ladder in that room? Couldn't someone have used that to climb up? And it's like, well, no, it was actually a step ladder, it was only quite small. You know? Nice voices. Look, a guy that doesn't get my references is no fun to be around. I'm going to check on the peeps outside. Smell you later, lawyer man. She's already out of here. Did she investigate anything besides that stupid ladder? There's got to be something to it. See, look, that's like a tiny little step ladder, that is. Can we look at it, though? Nope, apparently not. So it's not significant, then. Let's look at the bucket. Now, this is a normal bucket, a metal pail, by the looks of it. Not like the mop bucket in the background. Oh, yes, precision, ladies and gentlemen, you've got to be precise. It's like in academia. When you're saying out an argument, you've got to have precise language, and you've got to explain exactly what you mean. It's a bucket. Pretty typical thing to find inside a janitor's closet. But why is it randomly lying here? There's nothing inside here except... What is this smell? Smell like bleach? That's probably what chemical burns were caused by, maybe? Did someone try to attack Cara with bleach? Kind of like an acid attack kind of thing. I don't know. I feel like that could be the possibility. Let's look at the shelf. And we'll check if there's anything else. The shelf was packed with an assortment of towels. I briskly inspected them, lifting each towel to check for anything underneath. Many had gathered dust, but that was it. Nothing looked suspicious about them. Interesting that it lets me look at that, though. Back of the closet. That's the only other place. Oh, wait. I know, I thought there was something else, but it was the shelf. I thought for a second it was like, oh, wants me to look at the lockers, even though they're not highlighted. Alright, we'll go to the back of the closet, then. I need to inspect the area around me before I think about... Okay, never mind, there is something else that I've missed. Let's have a look. Oh, what, the sign above the door? The clock? Oh, it's a clock. God, I didn't even realise what that was. It was like a sign. But yeah, now that I look at it, it's a digital clock. There's a clock above the door. Doesn't seem like it works. Looks like that's everything around here. I should check out the other end of the room. Okay, there we go. That's all it needed me to look at. Right, back in the closet then. Let's see here what the deal is. Oh wow. Suddenly 3 people appeared out of nowhere. Alright, so what do we want to look at here? We've got 3 people we can talk to. We've got the security camera. Desmond, you're there. Ingrid, Winona, and then the camera. And that seems to be it. We'll start with the camera then, and then we'll talk to the people. It's another surveillance camera. Is the guy on the speaker watching us through this? Just a thought made my stomach turn. Okay, I thought it might be worth checking because you never know. There might be something to it. Winona, talk to you, entrepreneur. That security camera, it's brand new. Now that she's mentioned it, it does look out of place. You think it would have gathered dust like the other items in here? Did it recently get cleaned or something? My company's headquarters have similar ones installed, except these cameras are even more high-tech. Typical school, spending more on security than educating their students. That's assuming this is even the Academy's doing. True that. Alright, Ingrid. What do you got to say?
Golly!
These shells are real intriguing. Take a look. Some of the cleaning brands go as far back as the 80s and 90s. Damn. You recognise them? Because I use them. Why would you do that?
How should I put it?
All chemicals do the job better, since there were fewer regulations about what's poisonous and all that. Oh, okay, sure. Just don't ask where I got them. Don't want to let the fuzz. I'm sure they don't care about black market cleaning supplies. Okay, I'm learning interesting things about some of these characters. Surfer Dude. Well, he's not a surfer, but
Gotta
you know,
stay one
that's
step
my voice.
ahead.
I checked all the containers on the shelf, dude. They're all full, with the exception of one. A bottle of bleach.
Huh?
Bleach? Huh. There was a bucket in this closet that reeked of it.
Makes sense.
It's probably not a coincidence, dude, given this thing is supposed to emulate a real crime scene. It's crazy how much effort has been put into this, bruh. Can't think too much about what kind of situation we're in, or I'll never be able to handle it. Is that everything? Alright everyone, that's time. Look at you all. You investigated the crime scene so well. It's enough to bring a tear to my eye. Jokes aside, please meet by the elevator for the class trial. You should find it somewhere around the Tree of Ignorance. Don't make me wait too long. I might start getting zap happy. See you soon. Class trial? What the hell does that mean? Maybe we are going to have a trial in this prologue. Sounds like that's the end of our investigation.
Let's see.
If we're done with this closet, we should go outside and talk to the others. Let's do that. Okay. So this is probably, I don't know, maybe a good place. Whoa, jeez. That's everyone in one room. There we go.
The grass.
I was going to say, what I'm going to do here is probably, I don't know, I'll probably jump cut here and, you know, probably actually put the investigation into one episode of its own, even if it's slightly longer than the previous ones, because I think that's probably best thing to do. So yeah, we'll do that. We'll have the investigation. We'll talk to all these characters next episode, ladies and gentlemen. See you then. Now, that's a thing down there. Okay. I see. We've got these things here. Oh, this looks interesting. There we go. So pick that up and throw it down. Brings us to a stop, right? Then you can remove it. Oh, there we go, see? We've got a nice little island. Right, let's pull that up because we don't need that. Like that. Put mackerel. There we go. Doing good for food. Look at that, everything's sort of stuck in the water. Well, this looks pleasant, doesn't it? It's very nice. It's shallow water. I mean, look at all this over here. I could arguably, or possibly go for a swim as long as old Sharky Boy decides not to be an asshole. So we'll get that, harvest some mats from around here, and then we'll explore our island.